I'm Dave Worthman with the Flow Dynamics Heavy Duty Program. Today we're going to review the DCF-35, which is a diesel component flusher 35. The 35 is for 35 gallon, the reservoir is 35 gallons. This is a multi-flusher where you can flush air charge coolers with this kit, do a pressure test with this kit, and also we can clean the EGR valve and cooler on a Ford 6.7 liter. We'll go through the simple steps on doing that. This is going to be on vehicle, not running, and we'll clean that EGR cooler. Some of the symptoms that you'll have with a dirty EGR system is a decreased performance, gas mileage, and that could be resulting from high idle time, a lot of city driving, or even a vehicle with high mileage. If you wait long enough, the check engine light will come on, which will populate the DTC code of P0401, which indicates a restricted EGR flow. So the first thing we need to remove is we need to gain access, remove the inlet tube and the outlet tube, EGR tubes. So we'll have to remove the zip tube here. First we'll remove the inlet tube. It may help if you loosen these two bolts up for this mounting bracket. That'll give you access to the EGR tube movement for it. To prevent the bolts from snapping off, if the vehicle has a lot, like 100,000 miles or so on it, you want to use the mini ductor here with the special extra long attachment. So what you want to do is heat these bolts up for 30 seconds so they're red hot. That'll prevent the bolts from breaking. So after you heat them up, they'll come right out. So after you get the bolts loose, you just remove the tube, inlet tube. Okay, snake that out of there. Probably a good thing to do is to throw a rag down there and block the hole to the inlet, just in case you fumble a bolt. You wouldn't want it to go down in the engine. Loosen these up. Okay, these will take the gaskets and lay these off to the side so you don't lose them. And then this will just push off to the back here so you don't have to unloosen the sensor there. So that's it. We got the inlet and the outlet EGR tubes removed. Now we'll install the adapters to flush using the same bolts. So now we're going to install the outlet adapter. And then next we'll install the inlet adapter. Okay, now that we have our inlet and outlet, this will be the inlet because we'll be flushing, back flushing. Actually, this is the outlet, but we have an inlet, and this will be the outlet going back to the flusher. So we can connect those up. This will be the feed to the outlet of the EGR cooler. And then this hose will be the return hose back to from the inlet of the cooler to the machine. Since we're back flushing, we're coming from the inlet of the cooler. And we'll hook up the return line to the flusher. And then the feed, the inlet from the flusher. Now we want to open up the EGR valve. So you can do that with either using a Ford IDS or scan tool or the provided actuator tool. So you want to unconnect the red snap, the lock snap, unplug that, And like I say, either if you're gonna actuate this with the IDS, you would leave this plugged in. If you're using the supplied jumper tool, just plug that in. There's no lock tab on that, and plug this in, and then it will open the valve up. Obviously you want the valve opened up when you do the flush. Okay, so now that we removed everything, when we installed the inlet and outlet adapters to the flush machine, the flow will be going in the outlet of the EGR cooler and coming out the inlet back to the machine. So we'll go over turning the machine on and flushing. Depending on how dirty the EGR cooler is, you can select anywhere from 15 to an hour, hour and a half if you like. Usually about an hour flush job. If it's really dirty, we'll clean the cooler. For everyone's safety, the DCF-35 is GFI protected. All right, let's review the machine. Once you plug it in, the power light will come on. You want to have it in circulate mode, and you can do this while you're hooking the adapters up. It'll take roughly, depending on how cold your water is, about 90 minutes to heat up. And you want to add 10 gallons of water to 1 gallon of cleaner. This is the cleaning solution we'll use. We'll use 2 of these, which is 1 gallon of cleaner, and then you add in 10 gallons of water here. So you got a 10-to-1 ratio from water to cleaning solution. But you just want to hit the button here for heat and pump, and it will heat up to 130 degrees. And then you can select your run time from anywhere from 15 minutes all the way up to 2 hours, I believe, if you want to run a 2-hour flush. And then you would switch this over to flush when you want to flush, and this will count down. When it's done, it will shut down and the light will flash. Okay, so now we want to begin the flush. Put that over to flush. You selected your time. Say we'll do 2 hours, or actually we can change that to, if you hit one more time, it will go to continuous. So we'll do, say, like an hour flush. And like I say, that will count down. When it's done, it will shut down automatically, and the runtime light will flash. So if you want to just have the pump only, you hit that, and now it's not heating, it's just pumping. So but we want to continue heating. That shows the heater's on. That's basically it. And then when you're done flushing, you'll drain it back into here, and then we'll use the vacuum to evacuate the cooler and dry it out. We'll run that for about 15 minutes. And then put everything back together, start it up, let it idle for about 10 minutes, and you're good to go. Depending on how dirty the cooler is, you could probably get up to like 4 cleanings with the same cleaning solution. If you're doing a general service maintenance where it's not that dirty, you could probably get up to 6 or so cleanings per fill of 11 gallons of water and 1 gallon of cleaner. So if you want to completely drain the machine, you got an adapter here, bottom drain is there, you hook that on there, and that'll completely drain it. If you want to flush the machine out, you can put a hose in here, put that on there, and you can flush it to clean out the bottom of the machine. So we just did an hour flush on this, so now we're going to have to drain it. So we'll remove the inlet slowly, break the seal, and that'll drain the cooler back, pretty much all of it, to the flush machine. Disconnect these. Like that. So now the very important step now, there's still, the cooler is still filled with cleaning fluid. So we need to evacuate the cooler. If you hook it back up now, you'll damage the motor because there'll be water in there and you'll hydrostatic lock the motor, so you don't want to do that. What we use is a shop vac. We'll hook the shop vac hose up to this line here. Okay, so now's a good time to run the vacuum for a half a minute or so. to remove the initial cleaner out of there prior to removing the inlet adapter. Remove the inlet adapter so you get a good flow. And the reason we're using a shop vac is, number one, it will flow air through here. It will suck the cleaner out of the EGR cooler, and then after that's the cooler is removed, all the fluids removed from the cooler, then it will air purge it. And the best part about it is using a shop vac is everything's contained in the shop vac, and it's filtered, and you have an easy disposal for the fluid. Okay, so with the inlet adapter removed, you still have the outlet adapter on, hooked up to a shop vac that's going to be supplied with the kit. And you turn the shop vac on and you flush it or actually air purge it for 15 minutes. That will remove all the cleaning agent that's in the cooler and also air purge it and dry it out. After you do the air purge for 15 minutes, you just got to remove the outlet adapter and then reinstall the inlet tube, outlet tube, and the zip tube and all that. Best thing to do is start it up and idle it for 15 minutes or so, 10 minutes, whatever. Get it warmed up nice. Check for codes. Another thing you need to do is unplug the actuator here, or use the IDS and command the EGR valve so it's not open. So now we're set to go, and then you just reassemble as the same way you took it apart. Here are some pictures of previously cleaned EGR valve and cooler. The first picture is the EGR valve looking at where the EGR inlet tube connects. The next set of pictures is the back side of the EGR valve. And the third picture is the EGR cooler outlet, which is the coldest part of the cooler, and that's where the carbon accumulates. You can also use a DCF-35 to flush individual components like this charge air cooler. Depending on what you're going to use the DCF-35 to flush, we have several kits available.